Now, if you want to master talking to strangers in the next 3 months, then you're going to have to do a couple of things. Number one is grabbing a fucking notebook right now. Do you have it? If you don't have it, go grab it. If you do, good. Now, the second thing is taking action. If you don't take action, nothing's gonna fucking happen. You have to take action for something to happen. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And we all know that starting is the hardest part. You've heard it 1,000 times from 100 different people, but you still haven't started. Now why is that? You haven't started because your threshold for success is too high. I don't know if those are the right words, but basically what I mean is you have to make starting easy. You can't set your goal to go to 10 parties a week and talk to 100 people at each party. That's unrealistic. Even for me that's unrealistic, and I've been on this shit for like, 4 months, 6 months or something. Now, a better example of a starting goal would be to talk to one person every day. One new stranger. It's as simple as that. And that is what you're going to be doing in the first 2 weeks. In the first 2 weeks, you're going to be going on a 30-minute walk every day. And if you can't get into the habit of walking, then even with that, start small. Day 1, put on your shoes. Don't even leave the house. Day 2, put on your shoes. Walk outside your front door. Stand there for 10 seconds and then come back inside. Day 3, walk down the street for 30 seconds. Come back inside. Day 4, walk down the street for 2 minutes. Come back inside. And so on and so on and so on. Until you get to 30 minutes. That is, if you find it too difficult. Now, on this 30-minute walk, your objective will be to talk to one person. One absolute complete stranger that you've preferably never even talked to. Maybe never even seen. So, this one person, you can say anything to them. It really doesn't matter at all. Now, what I did when I started out was I just said some completely random shit. Whatever my brain came up with, I rolled with it and I said it. Usually, that was just something like, hello, or nice weather, right? Or just some random shit. It doesn't have to be complicated. And don't script anything. Don't script any of your interactions, anything you're going to say. It's the same as trying to talk to a girl, right? The more you script it in your head, the more you play it out. If you play it out over and over and over again, it's just going to make it much more difficult for you to actually take action, because you've got this perfect image of a conversation that you've constructed inside your brain. And because nothing's ever perfect, like it's never going to run perfectly, even for the most experienced people in the world. Because of that simple fact, you will have, or you'll feel pretty shit in the conversation. At least you'll feel worse than you would if you just said whatever your brain said. Because if you set your expectations way too high, and then you obviously underachieve them because it's just inevitable, then you won't be happy with yourself. But if you set your expectations super low, like if your goal for the entire conversation, the only objective is that you say one thing, and you know what, they don't even have to hear you. You just have to mentally send that word towards them. So you're not just talking to the ground. You look roughly in their direction and just make sure they're the objective of the word. So you could just walk past them and kind of look in their direction. Even if you're looking at the ground slightly and you just kind of tilt your head slightly in their direction, and you can just mumble hello. It's as simple as that. Literally anyone can do this. It's so easy. Holy fuck. And you know what? The more you do it, the easier it gets. So, the first time is the hardest time. Okay? Let me repeat that. The first time you do it, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be harder than every other time afterwards. So, if you want to get anywhere, just anywhere at all, you have to fucking do it, right? Now, on this 30-minute walk, you're inevitably gonna walk past some people. Unless you live in the fucking Minecraft Badlands, you're gonna walk past some people. So, that's why it's 30 minutes. It's not 10 minutes, it's not 5 minutes, because the likelihood of you walking past some people is just so much higher. If you can, I would walk in a place that doesn't have many people. It sounds counterintuitive, but the more people that are around you, the more difficult you're going to find it to talk to people. I know this from experience because I used to always go on walks, and I would do this kind of loop, circuity thingy, near my house, and it's just suburban. There aren't shops or anything. But, and I meet people on the walks, right? I walk past like probably 10, 15, 20 people every walk. But when I walk in the village or in the city, I run into a lot more people. Now that's good now because my skills are at a level where I can talk to many people. I can handle having other people around me while I talk to people. But for you, you're probably not at that level yet. So just lower your ego, bro. And accept that it's gonna be easiest if you talk to people when there aren't many other people around, right? And if you still don't believe me, if your ego's so big, I don't know what to say, bro. But the one thing I would say is that you need every advantage you can get. Seriously. You need every advantage you can get. So, just take my advice, bro. Trust me. Because I've gone through this whole process, and I'm just trying to help you out here. So, 1 30-minute walk every day. Talk to one new person. 1 word minimum. Now, week 3 and 4, you're going to talk to 3 people per walk. And this time, they have to hear it. So you can't do it like in the first 2 weeks where you're just kind of mumbling and you say some random shit and they don't even hear it. In weeks 3 and 4, they have to hear it. Okay? I hope you're writing all of this down, by the way, because it's going to help you so much. Even just writing it down, it's going to reinforce it in your brain. It sounds weird, it sounds retarded, but there's a reason why people who study, they write this stuff down even though they've read it 100 times. Because writing it down, it's just ingraining it in your head, okay? Now, month 2, after you've done week 2 of talking to one person and them not hearing it, or not having to hear it, in week 3 and 4, where you talk to 3 people per walk, and they do hear it. After that first month, you're going to go to month 2, obviously. It's the next logical step, right? And your goal for month 2 is to talk to 5 people per walk. And this time, 1, they have to hear it, and 2, you should just aim to speak more clearly. Now, in the first month, you probably weren't speaking very clearly. You were probably mumbling and being quiet and kind of slurring your words. But in month 2, you're going to have to speak clearly, because if you want to get good at interacting with people, if you want to get good at socializing, then how are you going to do that without people understanding you? I've had this problem for a very long time where I don't speak very clearly. Right now, I'm in a flow state, I'm talking loudly, and the rain is helping because I have to talk loudly over the rain for the camera to hear it. But usually, I'm not in that state. And I still have this problem to a degree where when I'm talking to people, I don't really know what volume to talk at. Now, the thing is, it is a lot better to talk louder at first, because usually people will... Well, people might not tell you to be quieter, they often will, but when you're quiet and you speak up, because people tell you to speak up, then yeah, you're speaking up, but then you're going above your baseline. You've got to do something that is more difficult. Now, if you set your default to speaking loudly, then you can automatically just lower your tone when people ask you to, or when you notice your tone is too loud, then you lower your tone. So, set your default to speaking loud. And by the way, the louder you speak and the slower you speak, the better people will understand your words. So, do that. And really also emphasize just everything. Like, my grandmother taught me this trick of when you're trying to get people to understand you, if you're a mumbly person, then while you're speaking, you really want to exaggerate what you're mouthing. So, right now, I'm just speaking normally, but now, I am exaggerating the movements my mouth is making. It looks fucking autistic, it looks so dumb, and it feels stupid, you feel like a fucking clown, but if you're around family, if you're around friends, even just doing some weird shit, maybe you're speaking to yourself in the mirror, or you could even record yourself, just mouth the words really clearly and exaggerate it so much, bro. And I can't express how much this helps. Like, my clarity has improved tenfold just by doing this. And, well, this combined with speaking louder and slowing down. Now, in month 3, you've done month 1, you've done month 2. In month 3, you are going to talk to 5 people per walk still, but this time you are going to have small talk. You're not just going to say a couple of words, you're not just going to say hello. Even if they hear it and you make eye contact, it's not enough. In month 3, you're going to make small talk. And if you find someone that you really vibe with, then you can have a full conversation. And you don't have to force it. In fact, I would recommend not forcing it, because if you find someone that you vibe with, it just comes naturally. Like, you'll naturally just start talking to them, and you'll get in the social flow state so easily talking to them. But it won't happen with everyone, so don't try to force it. Yeah. Now, in general, for all of these, if you don't walk past enough people, which is a pretty low likelihood if you go on a walk at a particular time of day, like midday. If you go on a walk at midday, there are going to be people around. Guaranteed, okay? So that's actually another thing. Set a time for your walk. Set a specific time that you can go on a walk every single day, and set the exact route of the walk. It doesn't have to be like autistically exact, but set a destination for your walk. A time and a destination. And you walk to that destination and you walk back and you leave the house at the exact same time every single day. This makes it a lot easier. Now, another small thing, another tip that I would give you for everything, again, is just to say what your brain says. Don't script anything, okay? It's so bad. I've tried it and it sucks, okay? Let's say you go on a walk and you're on month 2, so your goal is just to speak clearly to 5 people. And you see this girl who's down the street 100 meters, and you're a couple meters away from her, 5 meters, and you kind of wave at her to get her attention. And you start talking to her, and it's just kind of a shit conversation. You feel like you're interviewing her for a fucking news outlet or something. It just doesn't feel authentic. Now, this is a thing that a lot of people get wrong. They think that they should ask lots of questions and take an interest and all that shit. But what people really want to do, what makes conversations fun and authentic, is just saying what your brain says. So, for me, for example, recently I've been learning to drive. So, if I'm talking to someone, sometimes I'll just bring up driving, right? I'll start joking about how like traumatic it is for someone to say, slowly take your foot off the clutch and press in the gas. Like, it's just funny, and it's fun and it's great. And if you say things that your brain says, then you're going to be more likely to find people who you actually vibe with, who you just click with. And you'll have more fun in the conversation too, because it's going to be a real conversation instead of being just some like random shit. Instead of someone writing a script for you and you using that, because then you're just using their words. It's not good. Now, if you find someone that you really vibe with, if you're like, bro, we could be best friends forever, or man, this girl, she's like my dream girl, we could fucking marry and have like 18 kids, what the fuck. Anyway, if you find someone that you really fucking vibe with, then organize a hangout. Get their number and just hang out with them, bro. Like, yesterday I was at the gym and I was talking to this guy, and bro, he's like this jack awesome guy, and his friend was there too, and they were just working out. And honestly, I hadn't really thought of getting his number, because yeah, he's like a cool dude. I was vibing with him, bro. Like, it wasn't my average sort of conversation where I just say hi and the person's kind of unresponsive. Like, I was actually talking to him properly, having like a real conversation. But the thought never came to me to get his number. So I just went to the locker rooms and I was getting ready to leave, and then he came in and he was like, yo bro, do you have Instagram? We should go to the gym sometime. We should have a workout. And I was like, how did I not think of that? Like, that's such a great idea. So, I don't have Instagram, so I just gave him my WhatsApp number, my phone number, my WhatsApp. And yeah, we're gonna have a workout sometime. And it's just so fucking awesome, because when you're on this path of leveling up your social skills, it's so like, it's just fulfilling, because you unlock so many awesome interactions that you never would have had before. Like, I've heard stories from guys some of my online friends who they've had like the deepest fucking conversations ever. And those conversations started just by them walking up and talking to a random person. And they've found like people who they thought they could marry. Like they've found girls who they could literally start a family with. They've found guys who they could be lifelong friends with. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind that you could change your life forever if you keep continuing on this path. And also keep in mind that people will be grateful when you talk to them. Imagine you find someone, they're looking kind of lonely and they're just sitting at the beach looking out to sea, and they just look kind of lonely. So you walk up to them and you ask, yo, what's on your mind? Or if they're reading, like, yo, what are you reading? And that person, you never know, bro. They might be going through some shit. They might be reading a really good fucking book. And they will be so grateful that you came up and talked to them, because they might have never talked to a stranger at all. They might not have talked to a person at all in a week. So many people just crave social interaction. In fact, all people crave social interaction, unless they've got some mental disorder. If you want to learn more stuff like this, click the link in the description. I hope this video helped you, bro. If you didn't take notes, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing, because, I mean, for me at least, taking action on this stuff was life-changing. So, do that. If you haven't taken notes, go through the video. You can even watch it on like 1.5 times speed to make it faster. I hope I could help you today. Have a good day.